VFR, good VFR day. We'll stay out, basically just stay kind of outside all of these outlying islands here. These are pretty big islands, easy to see.
November 978 Whiskey Mike turn.
And that's just kind of what we're aiming for.
060 vectors to final.
Mound Desert Island's pretty easy to find as well. So should be fun. Hope you can tag along with us. If you stopped in on the first go around and you're wondering what the heck's going on here, well, I'll explain once we get airborne. Alright, everything looks good. We do have, it's kind of cool, we do have a weather map finally. I was able to get Rex was able to get a hot fix for P3D version 4.5, and so now that works. And yeah, we won't touch the GTN 750 unless we absolutely have to. We're going to squawk VFR the entire way. That's on mode Charlie. And yeah, I think we are ready to rock and roll. We're just going to taxi out here. And oh, one thing I do need to do, let's bring the prop up and let's set our power here 1700, and we bring the mixture back. Might not get much here, not seeing much difference. Yeah, sometimes you can get a little bit more out of your engine, but that's more at altitude. Okay, brakes are off.
Climbing tree 3000.
We're going to taxi out. We are at the end of the runway here, so there's nowhere else to go.
Charlie Foxtrot.
Just take a look and make sure we get lined up here.
Radar contact. Maintain appropriate VFR altitude and proceed on course.
Okay.
Proceed on course, maintain.
Do have the big Tundra tires on. I don't have the stall kit, but everything else is ready for some off-field action. We will set our flaps for takeoff, and again, I think for the most part we're ready to rock and roll. Power to full. Let's go flying. Bumpy, hilly, tough to see. Probably catch a little air. Yep, the bouncy tires. Try to stay on line here. And there we go. It's as easy as that. All right, time to head east. Let's bring the flaps back to climb. Let's bring our RPMs back. Don't need to redline things here. If we climb out at about 100, that's pretty good. And we're already over that, so yeah, we're in great shape here. Looking for, if we can get it, 2,500. If not, not a huge deal. We've got decent visibility, and we just want to stay, like I say, just want to stay out here on the east. We want to stay east of all these big islands. And yeah, kind of hazy, but you know, doable. Bring the throttle back just a little bit here. Keep everything in the green. Getting a little bit of a funny reflection off that front window. Makes me wonder if there's an island out there. So there we go. We'll just, like I say, we'll just kind of stay just outside of these islands. They pretty much run up the entire, you know, these little islands run up the entire coastline here. We'll hand fly it up to 2,500, and then we'll set the autopilot, and we'll pull some navigation things up and kind of clue you into why the first stream ended up on the cutting room floor, as they say. See you later, Heron's Nest. We are getting kind of to the end of the day here.
Departure, Foxtrot Echo Echo. Had a problem with my barometer. Verify altitude.
Charlie, Foxtrot, Echo, Echo, departure. I see you at 6,500. 6,500.
Roger, 6,500. Thank you, Foxtrot Echo Echo.
Boy, I don't know about how much higher I'm going to get right now. So let's do this. We're going to set the autopilot, if I can get it to click. There we go. Set the heading. We'll go ahead and, yeah, we'll just call it good here at 1500. And we'll kind of head, we're not quite heading due east. We need to, because there's one of our outer islands that we need to shoot for. But let's get headed in that direction. Let's make sure all of our information here looks good. All those are green. We can go ahead and bring the flaps all the way up. We can check fuel, still looks good. These pressures are good. This temp is a little high here. Let's bring the RPMs back even a little bit more here. See if we can get that to cool down some. I do know how to add carb heat if we need it. Actually that's this guy right here. And the mixture, full rich right now, that should be, well, we'll keep a close eye on that because that's not good. By the way, if you want cabin heat, that's your switch, on or off basically. What else? Cylinder temps, there you go. Carb heat, we're in good shape. And yeah, so here's what happened on the first attempt. We had everything sort of ready to go. Navigation wise, we had, you know, all of our flight plans ready. We had things filed, and then we went to fire up P3D and spawn at the Heron's Nest, and it was nowhere to be found. And so, you know, that obviously got me to thinking, oh, we went ahead and continued to climb. Well, too much talking here. Alright, we can go 2,500. We can arm that guy right, yeah, right there. Anyway, we weren't able to find Heron's Nest. I mean, it's not obviously on SkyVector, it's not on the Navigraph charts, but we've always been able to spawn at least all the way up to
November 623
4.4.
Portland approach 119.75.
Been able to spawn directly at the Heron's Nest because, like, I always like to be in the little hangar there. I think it's kind of cool. Or, you know, sometimes it's neat to be at the seaplane dock as well. But
November 9, 7, 8,
that was the first indication that something wasn't right.
Maintain 3,000.
But we thought maybe, I say we, I thought maybe it was a 4.5 glitch because I had just flown actually from Bar Harbor down to the Heron's Nest, essentially the opposite of the route that we're flying today. And things went well. Scenery was in good shape and all that good stuff. But turns out, as I went back to research the problem, there was a pretty simple reason why we weren't able to spawn there. But anyway, that's not the whole of the story. So we decided what we would do instead is spawn at Portland, because Portland had full ATC coverage. I mean, here we are, it's the Maine Event. There's all kinds of activity up here in the northeastern part of the United States. it's winding down a little bit today, or excuse me, right now. But you know, it's Portland was completely staffed. Bangor is completely staffed. I mean, it was. We just thought, well, I'll just start there. Then we can, you know, fly out to the Heron's Nest, which is out here somewhere. There we are, by the way. Fly out there, and it'll be like a little bonus. You can watch me attempt to land out there, which is always entertaining, and then we can just take off from the Heron's Nest and fly into Bangor. Well, needless to say, we looked and looked and looked, and I don't know the area super well, but I know it well enough to recognize kind of where we were in some of the different harbors and you know, some of the different island chains and things like that. And I pretty much knew where we were supposed to be, where the Heron's Nest was supposed to be, I should say, and it wasn't there. And so that got me thinking about, well, what's really the cause? And you guys have probably already guessed it by now. What it was that I had flown into the Heron's Nest on my old PC, and since I have upgraded to the new PC and to 4.5, I have not yet installed this scenery,
Over to Portland approach.
and so that's why it wasn't there. So yeah, long story short, we didn't find it. We got to the mouth of Bar Harbor, and then I got called upstairs for cake, and so I just decided to cut my losses, and instead of making everybody watch a 4-bounce landing, I thought we'd just have some cake and come back down and try it again after I'd had a chance to, you know. Oh, hey, hello, what was that? That didn't sound nice. Anyway, I thought we'd come down, try it again after a little cake and a little troubleshooting, and sure enough, it was just a simple matter of I had to go to the iBlue Yonder website and download it and install it, and it's a quick and easy, simple deal. No elevation correction needed or any of that stuff that you sometimes have to do in P3D. It just fired right up, and I think it's actually 2.0 now, so it was bonus. But yeah. That's what we've got going. That's where we're at. And again, we're just VFRing outside of the island chains here on the northeastern part of Maine, basically.
November 978 Whiskey Mike, the airport at your 6 o'clock, 15 miles reported in sight. 978 Whiskey Mike, we got port in sight, yep, but we will report. November 978 Whiskey Mike has the Bangor Airport in sight. November 8 Whiskey Mike, cleared visual approach runway 33. Cleared visual runway 33, November 978 Whiskey Mike.
It's almost as good as white noise, isn't it? Just love that big radial, big rotary. So this is a short flight. I mean, it's only, I think about, no, a heck, 40 minutes or so. I don't even know. 97 miles, but that's all the way from Portland. So, you know, we're probably only half or maybe a little over half of that. So, you know, say it's 2/3, 60 miles. That's less than half an hour. So we are already seeing one of our major landmarks here, which is the Mound Desert Island, and that's kind of the big guard into Bar Harbor. Bar Harbor is just around on the north side of this.
November 8 Whiskey Mike, connect Bangor Tower 120.72. Bangor Tower on 120.7, November 978 Whiskey Mike. Good night.
Our temp never did come down. I tell you what, things been running hot. We're gonna bring our mixture down just a little bit. Let's see if that helps. Usually that kind of goes the other way. Yeah, that's actually bumped it up that much closer. Well, we'll just bring everything down just a little bit here. We're not in a hurry. We've got plenty of daylight still. Just for a little bit of descent planning. Pull up weather for Hancock County Bar Harbor Airport. I am still seeing roughly the same data as when we left. Winds 270 at 4. We've got good visibility, 10 statute miles. It's clear.
I want to kill myself.
Yeah, life is good.
Please, please.
What in the world?
Oh my god, it's fucking terrible.
That's not normal traffic that you hear on ATC.
Running our approach, but there's 37 Delta Sierra VFR to Bangor. We're at 4,500. 7 Delta Sierra.
November 537 Golf Sierra, enter a left base runway 315. Bangor altimeter 29905.
Okay, in a left base for runway 33, 7 Delta Sierra.
Okay, so what I was originally getting ready to do is check and see if the winds are 270 at 4, we can go ahead and plan the ILS runway 22 approach, although we'll probably just fly it as a visual. But it gives us some information here that can help us. We've got a localizer frequency 1083, we've got an approach course of 224. We even have some altitude data here. It's saying if we were shooting the ILS, you'd want to be above 3,000 at Becra, and so I think we'll maybe try to see if we can climb up there a little bit closer to 3,000, and that should help us get on the correct glide path. But let's put in, let's just make sure we're not here. And no, I guess that's not, it did look a little bit like Desert Mound Island, but it's not. Now that we get a little closer to it, it does have a little terrain to it though, and that's the dead giveaway with that big island. But all right, we've got a second. Let's put that information in, and let's see. I might already have it in from last time. Yep, it is. It's active right now, and we would want to swing this around to 224. Right there. It'll come alive here in a little bit. Let's see if we can just step up another 500 feet. Still eyeballing that gauge. It's come down a little bit though since we've decreased our throttle. And yeah, I just think we were working it a bit too hard. Speed is good here still. We should be able to get up to 3,000 without too much trouble. Yeah, the Mound Desert Island. Did I say Desert Mound Island before? Mound Desert Island is similar to this, but just a much bigger scale, and also just much more terrain in behind it. You can definitely pick out Bar Harbor. I don't know what this one's called. Isle Auhaut, A-U-H-A-U-T, Isle Auhaut, Auhauts. I don't know how to say that. Right now, somebody from the Bar Harbor area is cringing. Alright, another quick peek at the Vatastic map. That was the Bonanza that just checked in. He's heading into Bangor. Here's a Skyhawk also heading in there. We're up here heading into Bar Harbor, and these guys are flying the other way, Bangor down to Portland. Here's a Phenom, I think, heading out. That'll be a quick trip if that's a Phenom. Skyhawk and an RV7. Cool. Other than that, actually, it's been, when we were on here making our first attempt, it was fairly regular in terms of the chatter and things that were going on, and it's just kind of calmed down. I think we're getting toward the end of the event, actually. What is the time here? Yeah, 0251. I think the event itself. Let me just make sure. Yeah, 8 to 11, so 2300. Oh, well, yeah, here it's just about over. So it won't really affect us a whole lot, but because we are VFR, but it is kind of nice to hear the other guys flying and hear the ATC doing their thing. That USA, it's a good website, a lot of good information, good resources about upcoming events. We I think take for granted how many really good, well coordinated, well staffed events there are these days. And when you jump on a website like That USA, you check out the calendar, man, you really can appreciate all the things. There's almost not a day of the week anymore that you can't find some good ATC or some good event, something interesting going on. And that's what I spend most of my evenings. Just looking for good ATC coverage, looking for a place to fly that I haven't normally flown. And every once in a while it's nice to come back to a spot like this where you are familiar with things. Alright, turn a little bit more to the northeast here. We are closing in on the Mound Desert Island. You can see just a little bit bigger scale than that first one. We'll want to go kind of shoot for this gap right here. That's the entrance to Bar... Wait a second. Yeah, that's the entrance to Bar Harbor up here. This way would take you there, I suppose, just looking at the map, but
November 7 Golf Sierra, contact Portland, Tampa 120.7.
this takes us in more of a direct entrance.
Tower 120.7 to 7 Gulf Sierra, we'll see you.
All right. Glad to have things falling back into place here. Glad to be getting old sceneries back online. Old airplanes back online. Things are working fairly well in 4.5, which is good. Getting kind of my settings configured and tweaked to where I'm getting that good balance, I think, of, you know, a nice looking sim, but good scenery or good performance as well. And yeah, getting just flat out getting closer.
Attention all aircraft, Bangor approach is now closed. Contact Bangor.
Ah, man.
Center for service. Good.
Yeah,
Night.
it's that time of night, isn't it? I think we'll jump over to center just so we can hear what's going on. We need 134.7, and yeah, that just adds a little bit to the experience here. Of course, they may be just as quiet as everybody else. Hard telling.
Boston Center, American 2120 is ready for taxi.
American 2120, runway 22 right, taxi via Echo, Alpha, November. Cross runway 15 right, hold short runway 15 left.
Copy, taxiing to runway 22R via Echo, Alpha, November, cleared across 15 right and hold short 15 left, American.
That looks pretty good.
November 420 Hotel Alpha, descend to maintain 3000.
Down 3000, 0 Alpha.
I won't get all the, you probably don't see it on the screen here, but the yellows on my monitor really look great. It's a little bit more muted, I think, on the actual live stream, but
November 420 Hotel Alpha, turn right heading.
It's all right.
20 vectors to the ILS.
Okay. Here's the Bar Harbor entrance. We're at 3,000. We are looking good. Let's see. Let's just run a quick check here. Fuel's looking okay. Our temperature, that looks much better. Pressures are good there. That it looks good. Temperature, our temps both are good there. Amps, volts are good. No weather to speak of. Now that I get Rex weather, or whatever that's called, now I don't have any weather to fly through. Go figure. Trim is, yeah, about where it needs to be. Right in the middle. We can adjust it as needed. And our temperature, forgot to check that. Yeah, we're still in good shape here. Wow, that's saying 80 degrees. Man, oh man, it's warm.
November 638 Alpha, turn right heading 210.
Heading 210, 68 Alpha.
Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful.
Sorry, Foxtrot, Echo, wind 310, 409, clear the line.
Good land for runway 29 or Foxtrot, Echo, thank you.
All right.
Turn up Boston out 73000.
Our localizer, our VOR I should say, has come alive. And not surprisingly, it's telling us we are way to the left of the runway. But not for long. We're going to be making a turn north into Bar Harbor, kind of heading around the horn there, and we should be able to pick up the airport without a whole lot of difficulty, and hopefully even make a semi-good approach and landing tonight.
November 4 Hotel Alpha, turn left heading 070.
0700, Alpha.
November 638 Alpha, turn right heading 230.
230, 68 Alpha.
November 420 Hotel Alpha, descend and maintain 2300.
2300, 0 Hotel Alpha, and we have Lima at Banger.
Butter. November 638 Alpha, descend and maintain 2500.
2500, you should do it.
Megan 2120, cross 21 left at November.
Oh, yeah, clear cross 15 left on November. American 2120.
November 420 Hotel Alpha, turn right heading 090.
Range 0900, Hotel Alpha.
Trying to maintain that 3,000. We're in the neighborhood here, and we will keep an eye on this guy as we swing around. We've still got a ways to go. We've got to kind of come back around here to 224.
American 2120, wind 310 at 7, runway 22 right, clear for takeoff.
I got a big cruise ship down there. That's cool. That's one of the settings I've been messing with, is how much land and sea traffic,
Clear for takeoff, runway 22 right.
how much of that stuff can I have and still make it
November 420 Hotel Alpha, until left heading 360, trying to localize.
be somewhat smooth.
360, 0 Alpha.
So you won't see that as much as you maybe did on some of the other streams, but hopefully you'll see like this stuff be just a lot smoother. Still have the light and the shadow reflections that look really good. I mean, yeah, you're looking out. If you're looking out this window, it just looks phenomenal,
November
right?
420 Hotel Alpha. You are 1 mile
I'm
from
taking
Delta,
screenshot after
2300
screenshot
till
here.
established on the localizer, clear to ILS.
Pick a winner, I'm sure.
300 till established, clear for ILS 330 Hotel Alpha.
Sorry, Foxtrot, Echo, welcome to contact ground on point 9er, have a good night.
Over to ground point 9er. Foxtrot, Echo, thank you for the update.
November 130 Tango Alpha, descend to maintain 1000, the Boston altimeter 3000.
Just maintain 1111, 0 Tango Alpha.
It's interesting as I turn my view, the hue
638
changes.
Alpha, you are 10 miles from Peak. Turn right heading 260. Maintain 2,500 until established on the localizer. Cleared ILS, runway 29er.
Right heading 260, maintain 2,500 until established on localizer. Cleared to the approach, 29 260.
November 420 Hotel Alpha, wind 2706, runway 33, clear flying.
So around 330 Hotel Alpha. Looks like I got him just before everybody else got it.
Really?
I don't need to get too crazy here, but basically what we are right now
24 Echo
is
Boston, center, good evening. Do you have
almost on the
information,
downwind.
Sierra?
It's tough to see right here, but the idea is to kind of come around and
Delta
come
24
back
Echo
here
Tank,
this
push back, device ready
this
to test.
direction. We might almost be able to see the airport. It's over in this area here somewhere. There's a little pause. Maybe the airfield just loaded in. I don't know.
2120 radar contact.
I'd still be a
Stay
little ways away, but that's the idea anyway. Whoops. Now we're getting a little. Now we're getting real downwindy.
Passing through 3,000 feet.
Second 2120, thanks. Climb and maintain 14,000.
We'll take it out here probably to this, almost to this shoreline.
Copy, climb
And
maintain
then
14,000 American 21.
Make our turn. That's far short of really the shooting the ILS approach. You'd take it out much further, but that should get us. You know, that's going to get us
Maintain 5,000.
good 5 to 7 miles away, which should be plenty.
Descend making 5,000, 0 Tango Alpha.
Honestly, we probably could just take it right in here. There is no other traffic. In fact, I think we're going to do that. Pull back on the power just a little bit. We'll start our descent. Start a little bit of a lazy left-hand turn and follow the harbor around.
Beverly.
Definitely don't need a big, huge
Sorry.
7-mile final here with this.
130 Tango Alpha. The wind
this
is
airplane.
calm at Beverly and the sky clear below 12,000. Is there any approach you would like to do?
I would like to go with pilot 16 approach, if you don't mind.
Sure thing, can expect that.
Sure, thank you.
Now the final approach fix is 2,100, so we're not gonna go below that. We'll wait till we
Yeah,
have
that's right.
wait till we see the field before we hit that. And that's a
Number 623,
that's a
8
4-mile
Alpha,
final.
wind 290 at Fort, runway 29er, clear to land.
All the while we'll keep kind of peeking over here to see if we can see. It's kind of on the other side of the hill there. Yeah, we're getting some stutters. I'm hoping that's because I have scenery loading in. Airport scenery, that is.
American 2120, climb and maintain flight 380.
Copy, climb maintain flight 380, American 2120.
Number 130, time out, turn 10 degrees, vectors, localizer, runway 16 approach.
Again, our course
10 degrees right, 416.
for approach is 224. We are tuned in 108.3, so we are tracking the correct VOR. We are below the glide slope. That's good. We are still well to the left of the runway. Even though right now it feels like you're to the right because you're on kind of the downwind. Well, we're more on the base leg now, but once we turn final, hey, look at that. I think we had some dolphins or something jumping down there. No, it's just waves. Darn it. I do have dolphins and whales and stuff like that. I think I have that maybe turned down to the point where I won't see any of that. Okay, there's 2100, so let's level off right there. And we'll continue to look over our shoulder for any sign of
420 Hotel Alpha, welcome to Bangor, right with naval ground point 9er, have a good night.
Right with naval ground point 9er, thanks for all the help, 0 Hotel Alpha.
oh boy. Don't turn too soon, dude. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to see back there.
Delta 24 Echo, runway 22 right, taxi via Alpha Vemper, cross runway 15 right, hold short, running at 15 left.
Taxi Alpha as well, close to 15 right, hold short,
7130 Tango Alpha, descend and maintain 3000.
3000, 0 Tango Alpha.
Alright, I think we're far enough that we can make our total base leg here. We were sort of angling in here, not really at a super good visual approach pattern. So let's turn, let's see, what do we say, 224? Yeah, so we're right here. That should be pretty close to our base leg. A little below 2,000, but I don't think that's a huge deal. We'll just try to keep our eyes peeled for the airport, which should be, again, just out there somewhere. And we'll be turning in here actually on about a 3-mile final by the time all is said and done. There's another scenery pause. Maybe Come on, baby. Ooh, that made me a little nervous. You never know. Never know. Spin my heading indicator over there just so I have a little bit of a reference as to where I'm going. Kind of right in that neighborhood. We've now gotten above the glide slope, so yeah, we're close. Let's go ahead. Let's bring things back here. Get ourselves in the white arc. We can introduce some flaps. Boy, we are stuttery today. Wow. All I have is just the one scenery, the Bar Harbor from
Boston Center,
Orbix.
good evening. Skyhawk 7274 Hotel, VFR request.
Okay, first notch of flaps is in. Oh, there's our airfield.
238 Alpha, welcome to
Okay.
Portland. Turn right on Charlie, and then contact
Yeah,
ground point.
we are a little bit high, aren't we? Okay,
Well,
let's
probably
enter
when they're
into a little bit more of a downwind leg here.
274 Hotel, Boston Center, good evening.
I was just looking too far away. That was my problem.
7274 Hotel is 30
We'll need to cut
miles
some altitude.
northeast of Bangor over Howland at 4,500, requesting flight following to the Brewer Airport at 0 Bravo 2.
Still have plenty of time to do that.
274 Hotel, squawk 4750.
Alright. Downwind.
Squawk 4750, 7274 Hotel.
Number 130 Tango Alpha, descend to maintain 2,500.
Elevation is 83 feet, by the way. So take it
Maintain
down to about
2,500.
1,100.
November 7274 Hotel, radar contact position as reported, maintain VFR, Bangor, altimeter 2996.
Maintain VFR 7274 Hotel.
Okay, turn base. Continue that descent just a little bit.
Boston Center, November 1983. With you, 165 miles west of Burlington.
Got our glide slope
November
back
183,
where it
Boston
needs to
Center,
be.
good
That's
evening,
nice.
squawk 4754.
Squawk
It's
47.
1,100 feet. There is our
Delta
base.
24 Echo, cross
Leg.
15 left in November.
There's our airfield.
pushing 157.
We'll go ahead and start our turn to final. And a nice little sunset approach into Bar Harbor, Hancock County, Bar Harbor Airport.
November 1983, radar contact position as reported, maintain level 310.
Roger, radar contact maintain flight level 310, November 1983.
Below the glide slope now, we can level it off a little bit here. And still to the left of things. I do think this has an approach. Yeah, you can actually fly an ILS if you wanted to with instruments. We're going to go ahead. We're in the visual mode anyway, so we're going to stay with it. A couple more notches of flaps here. There we go. We've picked up the glide slope. Localizers coming into center. Need to get our speed down now. We're a little quick.
Boston Center United 4887, we're ready for takeoff runway 33 at Zulu on the ground in Bangor.
United 4887, Boston Center, evening. Fly runway heading.
Yeah,
Wind
slip
270,
down a little bit low
623
again.
Kilo, clear for takeoff.
We'll fly runway heading on departure runway 33 at Kilo, cleared for takeoff United 40.
Yeah, a little bit flat on the approach. See if we can't get back on the glide slope though.
November 72747, is any other brewer?
Boy, I don't know why it's pausing like it is.
Full advice for 727 Hotel.
Get pushed around for only 6 knots of wind. Maybe things have picked up a little bit, I don't know. Alright, there we go.
Delta 24 Echo, wind 310, runway 22 right, clear for takeoff.
Oh boy. There's a 2-2. Pull the power back. Let's see if we can't.
Number 130 Tango Alpha, you're 6 miles from Tate's, turn right heading 160, maintain 2500 to establish on the localizer. Clear
Yeah,
localizer,
not too
runway
bad.
16 approach.
Not too darn bad.
Turn right heading 160, maintain 2500 until established, clear for Ohio.
Runway 16, localizer push. Number 130 Tango Alpha.
Ooh. Boy, all these stutters. I'm going to have to take a look at my config
Number
here and see
320 Papa Boston Center.
what I still have turned on that I don't need to have
when
turned
you're ready
on.
for departure. Do you want
Clean
to
up
depart
flaps.
from the ramp, or do you want to
And
go
let's
from a runway?
taxi in here and call it a night.
Austin Center, good evening. United 47 was coming out of 2000 for 3000 runway heading.
United 48 Center, transponder on.
There you go, sorry about that.
United 48 says like straight to contact. I'm maintain 10,000, turn left right Kennebunk.
Oh, maintain 10,000 left direct
Whoa.
10 bomb for 4887, thanks.
Yep, Echo November Echo.
All right.
Sally got that.
Welcome to Bar Harbor. Appreciate you
Papa Boston Center.
tuning in tonight if you did. If you didn't and you caught this later on, thanks for watching. We're going to try to find a spot to park here. I'm not sure where we need to be. We'll just pull it around and see if we can find a spot.
Number 130 Tango out, wind, comp, 6 clear to land.
This looks
The land November
like a good place right up here. Kind of right by
Delta
this
24 Echo, radar
bend.
contact altitude.
All right, we're going to shut down and call it a night. Set the brakes.
Delta 24 Echo, thank you. Climb and maintain 14,000.
Turn all of this off. And let you know kind of what we have scheduled for the remainder of the week. Hard telling the next couple days. I don't have anything in particular scheduled. We did do a little bit of a training mission this morning, just kind of a bonus one. We may do a few more of those. Hard telling. We may just end up picking up something else that just pops up on our radar too, or we may be out and about doing something. It's difficult to say, but tune in around midnight Zulu and there's a chance you'll catch us. The next official thing that we're shooting for is the Friday Night Ops. That's down in Dallas Fort Worth. It's the Summer Sizzle, and we're going to be flying from Denver down to Dallas Fort Worth, probably in the, well, it'll be either in the DC-8 or it'll be in the 737. And then whatever we don't use on Friday, we have we're going to use on Saturday because ZTL has an event. It's the ZTL Live up in Atlanta, and we're going to fly from Miami to Atlanta. There may potentially be something that interferes with our Saturday stream, but if not, we'll be there. Hey, downwind, checking it back in. So anyway, downwind, yeah, I won't repeat everything, but I had to do a take two. Downwind said he had to make an emergency MacGyver run to the Home Depot. Oh boy, I hate it when that happens. What's leaking? That would be my main question. That's usually what happens with me. But as I mentioned to everybody Downwind Sim is my CFI. He's the official CFI of the Melvin Leroy channel, so we appreciate that. Yeah, the music, I'm just totally copying Rob from Slant Alpha. You know, it gives the people at least a little something that, you know, they can listen to while I'm triple bouncing the landing or something like that. Fifth wheel RV landing gear problem. Oh, yowza, yowza. Yeah, okay. I've worked on a few of those things. I had a tow behind, not a fifth wheel, but those RV things. Yeah, they can be a pain, but it'll be worth it when you're sitting in your camper in the mountains somewhere. And yeah, but all right. Anyway, that's good for us tonight. Thanks again. I hope everybody has a fantastic evening. We will see you on TCAS later on. Take care. God bless.